Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Virgo, this is a bonus reading, and our card tonight is the Three of Wands, which is a very promising card, really. In the Thoth deck, it is the Virtue card. In our hearts and minds, it is a card of, fire, of passion, of opportunity and motivation and kind of choosing a path forward, right? So let's go ahead. We're gonna check these tea leaves out, see what they have to say tonight. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Also, if you want to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. And if you're new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comment section. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Now we have a bed, and it reminds me kind of one of those old-fashioned, what were they? Like metal beds. They're very squeaky. We have right here kind of this bed frame shape. So I know that you've been having some, probably some dreams traveling on your magic bed. I'm thinking of, there's a movie called, it was Nemo, I think. But it wasn't the fish, right? I think this one, it was called Nemo, but it was a cartoon about a kid who was, when he'd go to sleep, and I think this is what it was. He would go to sleep and he would fly around on his bed, go on adventures. So I do feel like there's a sense of traveling the astral planes, having some revelations in your dreamscape here. And we're going to look closer. We have the letter J up here, okay, right above the bed. So maybe something to do with a person with a J name coming through. We also have this large heart. You can see the heart. There's an arrow coming through here. Definitely a feeling of amorous love, romance, attraction. We have down here, it looks like maybe the head of a satyr. You can see the ears here, the eyes. One of the eyes is actually a little heart, the beard. So I feel like this is not only a romantic entanglement or yearning, right? There is a kind of very primal aspect to this as well. So I feel like maybe you are going through this period of time where you are looking for maybe a physical connection, a more sensual connection, maybe kind of losing inhibition a little bit, right? Now we're Virgo, so we're always in our head, no matter what. But, there can be times where, you're very impassioned. You are moved towards these kind of love emanations. And this does not have to all exist within the physical realm with another person, right? This could be that you're going through a phase of like reading romance novels, watching romantic movies, reminiscing about old times, or, having kind of a belovedness with self. Maybe this is a time where you are kind of courting yourself. And what does that mean, right? Dating ourselves. Yeah, maybe really focusing on finding some kind of really passionate love affair within your own life, solo, right? Have you ever like taken yourself out on a date? Have you ever kind of, just all of the energy you would put into being a romantic partner with somebody else, or at least in the, meeting and exploration phases of that, applying that to your own being, right? Maybe, like I said, going out on dates, doing nice things for yourself, making time to, sit and kind of be in a moment of, it feels like communing with self, going through kind of the self-histories, indulging in self-care. And I know I shouldn't say indulging, but it does feel like that, right? When we have these lives that are so busy and we have so much going on. And as Virgos, yes, we are. We're busy people. It's kind of just our default when we are not somewhat busy, right? And I'm not going to romanticize a busy life, right? Being stressed and busy are not good measurements of how well you're doing. But yeah, we do. We're prone to busyness. We are. I've never met a Virgo that's idle for too long. And if we are, it does. It starts to feel quite corrosive. Okay? So taking some time out of that busy life to, maybe just idle a bit. Yeah, maybe just kind of hanging out with yourself. Doing the things that you've been putting off. Right? Even if it is very leisurely. But, I also wonder if this is actually kind of somebody that you have a thing for, right? It could be the crush at work, somebody that you encounter in your, journeys into the greater world every day. And maybe there's not really much of a realized connection, but I think that you enjoy this kind of romantic wistfulness here. Now, let's turn this a little bit. So I kind of see there being a time where there's going to be maybe like a gathering of people in your life, and it almost seems like kind of working together to get something done, right? I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of like a person over here standing, playing some kind of instrument. We have a horse being drawn by somebody over here. We also have the number 734. We also have the number 4 up here. So 734. But I'm looking at this and I'm imagining, and we have another person over here, kind of a scene of like a harvest, right? I was just recently, the other day actually, looking at a painting called Harvest of the Gourds. Harvest of the Gourds, I think it was called. And I don't know who the painter was. But I get this feeling of something like coming together to get something done. And now maybe this is like moving a family member. Maybe this is like working on some kind of project. And it's like, mom calls up and she says, hey, I'm making a batch of sloppy joes. Everybody come over. We got to, I don't know, clear out the garden, right? You're going to go over and help do some yard work, put away things for the next season, whatever it is, right? But I do feel like you actually kind of looking forward to this, being with your family, having a reason to kind of hang around and chit chat and eat some food and not super high stakes here. You know, maybe not something like a big celebration, but something enjoyable, something easy. And, you know, I think that in a way, us Virgos, we kind of live for these moments, right? We love to plan things. We love to get our events together and holidays and so on. But it's always nice to have something that's a little more impromptu, where it's not hugely kind of curated and planned out. It's just kind of a let's all get together and do this thing. And I think this doesn't happen enough for you. You know, it could be more often, but such is life. And so I see you really taking a moment to really enjoy this being together. So take some pictures, right? If you're with the family, take some pictures together, and enjoy your day, enjoy your time. And let's see. So we have the head of a horse over here. And we have a person right here. And I keep thinking, like, they look like they have a flat top. Right, right up here. We have the eyes, we have the nose, the mouth, the kind of looking over this way. And we have the horse, and the horse to me almost always symbolizes movement of some kind. Energies being moved around in your life, taking a really proactive and intentional position in this change that is happening. And I want to look and see. We're going to check out these. They're called the Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards. I'm using them as clarifying cards. They're oracle cards. I'm trying to figure out how I can maybe use them, integrate them into the readings a little bit. They're beautiful cards. So what we're going to do is we're just going to, I'm going to pick 3 cards and kind of allow them to clarify, like, what is this movement of energy? What are we talking about here? So I'm just going to flip through. I'm not going to shuffle because it would be a mess. Okay, so we have companionship. Okay, so companionship. I'm going to stop again. Let's see. We have empathy. Okay. All right. And one more. Oops, I got 2 more, so we'll use 2 more. Okay, so we have companionship, empathy, bluff, and status. Ooh-wee. All right. So, it looks like we have kind of a situation where it almost seems like somebody from the outside is, well, a social climber of some kind, right? Looking for some kind of status. And it feels like they are kind of looking for this companionship, but there's a sense of like it's not real, right? They're only here for some reason, for the reason of climbing and status. Right? And for them, I feel like it really is, how can I kind of better my circumstances? Now, I think that this is something that you sense, and I don't know actually that this is even has to do with you. I think that maybe you see this within somebody else in your life. And maybe it is like a brother, a cousin, you know, a good friend, but I do feel like this masculine person has somebody kind of fishing around here. And maybe it is that they're already married or whatever. And this is kind of one of those situations where, you know, within the family, everybody's kind of like, well, we can kind of see what's going on there. But, you know, we're still going to be kind and empathetic, right? We're going to be on our best behavior. Now, I'm looking at these and I'm realizing they're not on camera. So I'm going to move them up a little bit. We have Okay, let's see. We have companionship, status, bluff. Okay. Now, we also have empathy here. So I feel like it's really, this sense of really just being kind of misguided, right? Or at least like there's an illusion. But I think really if you got to the heart of things, you would see that this person in your life, this probably family member, already knows. Like they're aware, But they love the person, or they care for them, or they're at least attracted to them, and they're willing to put up with it. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not their first marriage. They've found somebody who's pretty easy to be around, somebody that, maybe their first big relationship or marriage was a lot of conflict, and it was just like, it kind of turned them off to being that close with somebody. And then they found somebody who maybe doesn't, have like the purest intentions, but they get along fine and they like each other, and, and it's easier. And everybody's kind of getting what they want from the situation. And kind of from the outside, it's like, what can you really say? You know what I mean? Like, we don't really ever know what a relationship is actually like unless you're a part of that relationship, right? We can see from the outside, we can make our judgments. We can, think, wow, this is, so out of character for this person that I've known, or, they seem like they are super perfect and they're really not, or that they seem terribly, mismatched, and there's a lot of, contentious energy here. But then privately, or, maybe it is that this is the kind of dynamic that they like. You can never know, right? You just can't. So I think that, there is, and this is also a Virgo trait. Listen, people give us a bad rap for, maybe being a little bit judgmental, know-it-all. We do know it all, right? A little bit of a know-it-all. We're very sure of our understandings of things. We look at a situation, and usually our first impression is pretty dead on. But the reality is that we also want people, and I think this really is a big Virgo thing. We want people to be okay. We want people to have as good a life as they can. We're not the kinds of people that are out here trying to make things hard for others on purpose. We might not mess with you. We might not want to hang out with you. We might not even want to really know you. But God bless, right? I want you to have a good life. I want you to, enjoy things. I want you to have everything that you need and some of what you want, right? But, that doesn't mean that we're going to be BFFs. And I think this is kind of the situation for you, is that, you wish these people well. You kind of peep game. You see something's up. But really, is it our place? No, not really. Not unless they come to us and ask for assistance or our opinion, or, and then we can pull out the case file and be like, all right, here we go. here's all the things that I've noticed and all of my avenues of research. Let's go over it, right? All right, let's see. I love having Virgo people in my life. I'm a August Virgo. I think we're a tad more chill than our September Virgos. You all are wild. But I have a sister, my older sister, my beloved sister. Hopefully she's listening to this. I love you, sis. She is the investigator of my life. I mean, not my life, but I've never met somebody who had more info. And of course, she works in a profession, I won't dox her, but where she she interacts with a lot of people and is really good at having conversations with them. And so, my goodness, we are, as Virgos. It's not even that, and here's the thing. It's not even that we care that much, right? Like, I'm not here to judge you, but I want to know what's going on. My husband, shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. He's an amazing tarot reader. Go check him out. He always thinks it's so funny because I always know, like, wherever we live, all of the neighbors' schedules, right? Not because, like, I'm up in the mix or I really know them that well. I am somebody who will go over and meet all my neighbors. Like, I know who they are and what their names are. But I know their schedules because I keep a watch, right? I am out there in the window seeing what's going on. Do I really care what's happening? Not really, but I like to see what is going on in the neighborhood. You know, I want to know when something's off. During those months, right, when we were out of lockdown, but you still had to, well, hopefully people still are, you know, staying in your home during the time when those days that you don't feel good, right? When my neighbors would suddenly, like, stop going to work or their kids would stop going to school or, you know, whatever it was, I'm like, oh, guess who has the thing? And my husband would be like, how do you know? You haven't even seen them. Well, I'm watching the flow of things here. I know, buddy. And I was never wrong. Not even once. You can go ask him. So that is, we Virgos, and you can pat yourself on the back because I don't think it's a bad thing. We are a little bit nosy, but you know what, it's not because we're coming from some kind of, like, moral high ground. We just like to know what's up, you know, and that is what it comes down to. Now, we have the Empress. Look at that. She's got a wand. She is not sitting in this one. Usually we would see the Empress in a enthroned posture. What does that mean? Sitting in a throne, right? Now, this is a standing posture. So this really is kind of like I am holding court here. You know, I am in this place of power and you will listen to me, right? You are giving out some instructions. But I do feel like you will be in a situation here of being in charge. And I wonder if that comes down to this family thing going on. I see you being the one that's kind of orchestrating a lot of it. And I think that's, like, one of the places that Virgos excel is to be the one kind of, maybe not like, maybe not the one that is, like, what am I trying to think here? Like, you're not necessarily the one that is the public facing head of things, but you're the one that's doing, like, all of the planning and executing of plans and making sure everything's running smoothly. And I think as Virgos, we don't mind this, right? I don't think that it is that big of a deal because it's not like we don't need the accolades, but, you know, people know that we're the ones making the moves, right? We're the ones making all the decisions, running the households. So yes, I do. I feel like you're in a place of power here. Absolutely. Now we also have the Lion. Okay, so we have a Lion and we have a Leo in the mix. So I wonder if your love interest is maybe a Leo or at least has Leo energy. I don't know. I don't know about Leos and Virgos going together. I feel like there's a lot of passion there. Absolutely very passionate. But the conflict in personality could be big. Also the ego. It is the ego. It just is something that is hard for us to get around. A Leo is a person that very active, get it done, personable, charming, interesting, all these things. But as a Virgo, we just like people to like keep it real about whatever. Just tell me plainly, right? You don't have to like, unless you are wooing me with a poem that you've written me or, you know, whatever. I don't need all of the mental, emotional gymnastics. Just say what it is. Say what it is. Just be real. I'm not here to suss it out. And with a Leo, ooh, that can be difficult, right? They like to put on a show. They wear many layers, right? And so it can be something that is frustrating ultimately. And, you know, I think it's the big thing, the bravado. Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just me as a Virgo. I do not like that. I want to know you in your quiet hours. I want to know your weaknesses, not because I want to take advantage. I want to see what is in there. I want you to be you, you know, not this big peacocky version of yourself, right? And so, yeah, could be difficult, but also, listen, it could be the love affair of the century as well, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to do our self-affirmation, or no, self-care affirmation cards. I got it, and I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Okay, contemplative stream. I am self-aware. I take time to sit by the contemplative stream to notice how I am feeling. I respond to my needs with compassionate awareness. I witness my internal landscape without judgment. I witness my internal landscape without judgment. All right. Virgo, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do. I absolutely do. And I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And what else? Oh, yes, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Especially if you're new to the channel, definitely shout it out in the comment section. Other than that, I'm going to tell you again, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk in a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.